The video for this drop, there's lots of fire, there's owls for some reason, and lots of dancing in the rain, which I presume was to put out the fire. Clean Bandit, Louisa Johnson, Tears on KMFM, 8:05. You're listening to Glen Scott. We're on Twitter and Facebook this evening, KMFM official, and John Newman is officially back. He's got a huge new song called Olay. It's produced and written by Calvin Harris, and John is on the show this evening.
KMFM.
Firstly, your new single is just stuck in my head. I'm walking around everywhere just going like, Olay. Seriously, like anything I'm doing, it's like if I'm walking down the street, if I'm driving my car, all I can hear in my head is Olay.
That's a good start. That's what we want.
100%, a perfect side. For people who have no idea what I'm on about, because for a lot of people who haven't heard the track will be thinking, what on earth is he talking about? Your new single, Olay, it's available now, and am I right in thinking that it's the first track that you've released that you haven't written or produced?
Yeah, it's weird. It was basically, the reason it feels weird is because I've always had so much control, but to be able to do something different, then I've got to step back for a second and try something else, to be inspired to do something different. And that's what it was. It was kind of experimenting with Calvin. We just always said when he was going to do something for me, it had to be good. It had to be a bit different, and we tried going down doing the John Newman thing. We tried doing the Calvin Harris thing when it came to making music for me, and neither of them were working. I'm not the type of artist that can do a We Found Love unless it's a feature. So it was about finding what was right for me, and then he just threw a curveball in. I went into the studio, he played me what he had of this, and I didn't really like it. I was like, this is what's going on. And then just the growth within that track, and the more and more it started growing on me, to the point where he tells me, if this is a big song, I'm going to ring you every single day and remind you I was right. And I'd like to think he is ringing me every day because it means it's done well, but
just to rub it in.
I'm not looking forward to it.
Is that the sort of person he is? Is he the sort of person where if you make a bet and he wins, you don't hear about it?
100%. He will never let you live that down, ever.
Because it's something that I didn't expect for a Calvin Harris track either, like something that he's produced. Like, has Calvin ever come to you? Because you were saying that he was coming with ideas for tracks as well. Has he ever come to you with an idea for a track and you've just had to take a step back and be like, Calvin, what is going on? I am not taking this.
We're very, very honest with each other.
Yeah.
Like, very, very honest. And people think when we're talking, people are like, wow. Because they're like brutal, because we just tell each other how it is. That was what it was like with Olay. I was like, nah.
Yeah, I suppose you have to.
I was like, what is it? Nah. I was like, and he was just like, it's a vibe. And I was like, no, I don't know what it is. And then this is the one thing about Calvin, you can never stop him, because what he does, it just develops. If he's got an idea, it's going to be right. Yeah. And that's what I've learned, is that although... And I should know that myself, that you should never shut somebody's vision down too early, because he knows what he's making and he knows what he's doing, and that's what it was. And the second I sat back and listened, and the second I sat back and let him tell me what he'd like to hear as a fan of mine, that's when we started getting something special.
It's just, what do they call it? Is it an earworm? Is that the word when it's a song that just you keep just hearing in your head?
I think it is an earworm. Well, I really do. You don't listen to it and go, yep, sorted, that's a smash. Yeah. You know, it's not that sort of song. I remember when I was giving it the tests almost, and I still do it now. Like, I ask people, you started with the conversation with telling me you liked it, but if you didn't, I'd be like, do you like it? And because I'm like testing the water. I remember playing it to my what is it, my UK radio man. The man who comes and sees you with all his bits, Alan. And I was like, do you like it? And he'd only had one listen. He was like, it's different. Yeah. And I was like, okay. Yeah. And then he listened to it again. And I was like, do you like it? And he was like, yeah. Did you just lock him into a room when it was just on repeat? Yeah. Do you like it now? What about that? Yeah. And by the end now, like, if I ask him, do you like it then, Alan? He's like, I love it.
KMFM.
We'll get back to chatting to John Newman on KMFM right after this, from Sagala, Nile Rodgers, and the man himself, brand new on the hit list. Get us on Twitter, KMFM official. This is Give Me Your Love. Hi fire to Saray, to Laura, to Amy, to everybody else getting involved on the Twitter this evening. KMFM official. Sigala's new track, John Newman and Nile Rodgers. It's called Give Me Your Love. I am obsessed with this song. His new single plays next. And John Newman is on the show this evening to talk all about that.
KMFM.
You've been spending some time filming. Is it the music video for this, or is it the music video for another track where you're on a yacht in Mexico?
It's the music video for this. It's amazing all the speculations that came around with what we were doing.
Well, on a luxury yacht off of Mexico with a lot of good-looking women and Calvin Harris. Do you ever sit back and think like, my job's alright, isn't it?
Yeah, there was a lot of that. I was wondering what people thought. People thought we'd just gone on holiday. People were just like, John and Calvin on a yacht with loads of good-looking women,
and to
just
be fair,
doing nothing.
To be fair, the timing probably contributed to that.
Yeah, I think that did contribute. Yeah.
Was it as glamorous as it looked on the Snapchat, or was there like someone being seasick over the side of the boat?
That's amazing. It was both. So it was so beautiful, so beautiful. I've just seen back some of the still shots and things like that, and it was such a beautiful, beautiful thing. But in terms of people throwing up, there's about 3 of the girls that are part of the video, 3 of the cast, let's call them, throwing up in the toilet. It was amazing. We were meant to have 5 girls, and we only had like 3 at any one time. But they were just like switching out.
On rotation.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing.
God, how choppy is the water in Mexico?
It was pretty choppy. I got to go on a jet ski, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And it was choppy, man. It was pretty choppy. I nearly came off a few times.
So from working with Calvin Harris to working with Sigala, it looks like you're putting in like a big fight for Song of the Summer. 2 very different fights for Song of the Summer, to be fair. What's the biggest difference between working with Calvin Harris and Sigala? Because obviously there's a lot of difference in terms of years of experience.
But that's a good thing. I think Calvin's very experienced and chilled and has done this a lot. And he's got this, you know, and will continue to maintain his strength and fight. Sigala's young and straight out the blocks, and that's exciting to work with people. I've got to keep doing that. I've got to keep working with new, fresh, exciting people, and that's what I was doing. And he's a good friend of mine, Bruce Sigala, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed doing something a little bit different and just delving into that world a little bit. It was a bit like going back and doing another Rudimental track. Kind of like, it's a really cool UK kind of vibe, and it's done really well internationally from being that vibe, you know.
Definitely. In terms of new people that you're hearing about at the moment, so Sigala was one of the newest ones that you've worked with. Is there anybody else whose name is floating about at the moment who you're thinking, I'd love to get into the studio with them?
There's a girl called Mo. She's incredible. She's the girl that did Lean On with Major Lazer. I think she's really exciting what could come from that.
Final song out at the moment as well, isn't it?
Yeah, which is an incredible tune. And also a girl called Dua Lipa.
Yes, Hotter Than Hell. We're loving both of these tracks at the moment.
She's a right diva, isn't she? That's good.
Definitely get her on the yacht. Mo, what was that?
Me laughing. This is an amazing joke.
I was like, something
if you hear something weird, it's just me. So.
It sounded like something bursting, but that's good. Mo's a weird one because nobody knows how to pronounce her name. I've heard Moo, I've heard Mer, I've heard Mo from you, and I've heard Emo from people who've just given up completely.
Oh, Emo's good. But then Emo's a good standard. I like that.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. I'm going to hit play on the track now for everybody in Kent. So for somebody who's listening to it for the first time, can you set the scene? What we like to do is something called, you know, like with food, you get serving suggestions. So like, it's like, have this with potatoes, have this as like your Sunday meal. For somebody who's listening to Olé for the first time, where's the best place for them to be listening to it? Who should they be listening to it with? And careful on this one, but what should they be doing whilst they're listening to Olé?
I think the listener should take a slow stroll up the stairs and go into your father's wardrobe. There is a shirt from the 1980s in there that is splashed in bright colours and it drinks in the shape of a pina colada. Put this silky shirt number on and travel back downstairs whilst making yourself a pina colada in the kitchen. Hit the play button and let you ooze into this summer feeling track. This is Olé by me, John Newman.
I am waiting for the Marks and Spencer adverts to come in. That was perfect.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. This is not any music. This is John Newman music.
KMFM.
Low-key, you won't tell none of your friends about me.